Then you recap what you've gone over because you asked all the questions, you know exactly what they're looking for. All right, Mr. Customer, so you're looking for headshots with a gray background. You're looking for 2 or 3 different poses and maybe 1 or 2 wardrobe changes. I'll tell you what, I happen to have a gray background at my studio. Once they ask about price, here's a bonus tip. So a little bit of a sidestep. We've been talking a lot about the M50, and it's a great camera, and I will talk about that more. I'm using the M50. I'm using it in 4K with the EOS to EF adapter, or the EF to EOS adapter, Sigma 18 to 35, and I got the camera probably 7 feet from me or so. So as you may know, I get a lot of my ideas for these videos from Facebook groups and pages I have, photography for beginners or a bunch of different groups. And I kind of scroll through there and I see what some of the most common questions or most common problems are, and that's what I make videos on. So I've been seeing a really common one lately, and it has to do with sales and problems with customers and how to avoid those problems, how to address these problems. Before I did photography, and even still now because I own my own business, I've done sales for most of my professional career, be it retail sales, I've done electronic sales, I've done car sales, dabbled in real estate a little bit, but it's been a very sales-centric career path for me, and all the different jobs I've have revolved around sales and customer service. So I've got a little bit of insight and a little bit of experience when it comes to this. Me being in my late 30s, I've been doing sales since I was 17 or 18 years old. So I figured for today's video, I want to go over 3 tips to improve your photography sales. So tip number 1, more often than not, when I see problems with customers, people share screenshots of Facebook messages, of Instagram messages, of text messages, of emails. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you is work with your customers over the phone. So I immediately, the second a customer reaches out, and I realize they do reach out over Facebook, over Instagram, over email, I immediately try to move that to a phone call though. And it's as easy as asking more often than not. Hey, Mr. Customer, hey, Mrs. Customer, I have some stuff to go over with you and it's much easier over the phone. Do you mind if I give you a call real quick? Or if you have it set up to where they fill out a contact sheet to get a hold of you, you may already have their phone number. Don't text, call, reach out to them, have a conversation with them. Getting them on the phone helps you out in a variety of ways. It's one of the easiest ways there is to build value, one of the easiest ways there is to set expectations, and one of the easiest ways there is to build a relationship with that customer. A lot of things get lost in translation over text, which is why I always advocate moving them to the phone as soon as possible. So that brings us to tip number 2. Build value before you give up your pricing. Let's add a little asterisk to that as well. Bridge to business. Build a relationship, as much of a relationship as you can, over a nice long phone conversation before you give up your pricing. They're buying services from you. They're buying products from you if they're actually buying physical photos. But you are in that equation. Looking at a price and looking at your photos, you're not involved in that at all. Are they shopping for just the lowest price? Or are they shopping for a good price and having a photographer that's willing to go out of their way to meet their needs? Do you fill their needs? None of that stuff is discussed if they can see your price, turn around and never contact you again because dude down the road gave them a better deal. Don't do that. Talk to them. Build value. Like I said, it sounds cheesy, but really do try to build a relationship, as much of a relationship as you can. Talk to them about where they're from. Talk to them about places to eat in their town. Talk to them about mutual people you may know. Talk to them about sports. Talk to them about the weather. Talk to them about anything except for photography, and then move the conversation to photography. That's your bridge to business. That brings us to tip number 3. Control the conversation. If a customer gets a hold of you, they're simply going to want your pricing and they're going to want to move on. They're not photographers. They don't know everything that goes into it. You as a photographer need to educate them, and you do so by having a conversation, like I said in the last tip. So once you move that conversation from text form to an actual phone call, you now need to control that conversation and dictate where that conversation goes. How you do that is by asking questions. Oh, Mr. Customer, where are you from? Oh, excellent. Have you ever eaten at so-and-so down there? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So are you originally from that area? Oh, that's really cool. Where do you work at? Oh yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. So once you start asking those questions, you can slowly move that back to photography. You can slowly move that back to how you're able to fill their needs. All right, Mr. Customer, it's been a great conversation. Based on what you said, I think that we're gonna work out great. I have Wednesday and Thursday available next week. Which one of those work better for you? At that point, they're probably gonna ask you about pricing. Then you recap what you've gone over because you asked all the questions, you know exactly what they're looking for. All right, Mr. Customer, so you're looking for headshots with a gray background. You're looking for 2 or 3 different poses and maybe 1 or 2 wardrobe changes. I'll tell you what, I happen to have a gray background at my studio. Once they ask about price, here's a bonus tip. Present your highest price package. It's easier to run downhill than uphill. If you present your lowest package, you have nowhere to go if they object to the price or if they show a concern about price. Start high, and then if you have to, work your way down. Always be confident when you're talking to customers. Always be confident when you're presenting pricing. If your biggest package is $480, present that, be quiet, and let them respond. If you've done a good job and you built a good relationship, they're not gonna hang up on you. If they do, call back with confidence. Hey, Mr. Customer, I'm sorry, you must have got disconnected. So that package is $450. I take Venmo or PayPal. Which one of those works best for you? Present with confidence. Make them object, then overcome those objections. Only lower your price if you absolutely have to. So I want to end by saying this method works for me. This is a tried and true sales method that I've used over the years in a variety of different sales, and it hasn't failed me yet. If you have another method you use and it works for you, that is awesome. If you don't like this method and you want to seek out some other stuff, there's lots of great videos out there on how to do this. This is simply what I use. If you do try this method, let me know how it goes down in the comments. Let me know if you have any other questions and I'll try to answer those in a later video. If you do like this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to like this video and stay tuned because I will have more content like this coming up. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
Oh.